Hi there, my name is Toby and I've developed a new method of training, and it's a new approach to training. I'm seeking efficiency. How can I get the most out of my body by putting in the least effort? So I call this training body efficiency training, and in this workout we're going to be doing something I call ghost weightlifting. Now I suggest you watch this through at least once, and then you could follow along from the very beginning when I'm just standing and twisting, but do be careful, do be slow, always listen to your own body. This is about body awareness. So what am I doing? Well, I'm trying to hold my body in a good posture, a good structure, and I'm holding that structure under isometric tension. So you could call this structural isometrics. And this is really the foundation of this whole training. You see, a good structure, a good posture makes everything we do easier. We are stronger, we are more mobile, everything becomes easier in a good structure. When we're in a bad posture, a bad structure, everything is harder. Now the problem is we're used to a bad posture, so we think that's easy, but it's not. With a bit of work, everything can get easier. This is efficiency. So these positions here I'm moving my arms to, these are the positions we're going to work through in this workout. And the basic principle is I'm trying to keep the spine in this natural S-curve, as if I were floating in space. No gravity, nothing acting on me. What would my spine do? What shape would my spine form? But because I'm here in gravity, I've got to hold it under tension. And then I've got to hold the hips and the shoulders under tension, just in the midpoint, in the right angle against the spine. So what we're doing now, this is the first posture. One hand has got a weight and one hand is empty. It's got the ghost weight. But I've got to hold my structure as if nothing was happening, as if both hands are doing exactly the same thing. So I'm holding tension in one hand with the weight, but I've got to hold tension in the other hand without the weight, as if I had a weight there. And you see I've got to even out my body. The weight is asymmetrical, but I've got to keep my body symmetrical, and you see it will work the whole core. So I've got to pull the belly in. I'm holding the navel towards the spine. I'm holding the obliques tight. I'm lifting up the rib cage a little bit, expanding a little bit so the sternum tilts up. I'm holding the shoulders up and back, and so the rib cage and the shoulders up and back. And here now in this exercise with the arms in front, this is key. Lift up the rib cage, lift up the shoulder and pull it back, and you'll see this holds the weight up easier. And I'm in a horse riding stance, not too low, and I'm taking my weight to the back of the heels. So when my arms are in front, I'm trying to balance out. So I'm counterbalancing by taking my body weight a bit backwards. But the key is to keep the belly in tight, keep the waist tight. You've got to hold that very strong. And even in the glutes, there's a bit of tension in the glutes. But you can see I'm not tucking my pelvis under. I'm still sort of sitting down in a chair. So my pelvis is tilted slightly backwards. Remember, I'm trying to hold a natural spine as if nothing is happening to me. And I've got to keep this isometric tension in the body and balance everything out, even though there's an asymmetrical thing happening to me. And this applies to martial arts as well. When someone is trying to move you or knock you down, you've got to maintain internal control of your structure. So it doesn't matter what they're doing, I still have to keep control internally and independently. And it's even independent from gravity. So now here, hands up at the sides. You see, it's very good if you can practice this in front of a mirror, so you can keep an eye on yourself. And only use a light weight. It's not about heavy weight. I've only got 6 kilograms here, so it's a weight that is comfortable for you, and that's important. You've got to be able to do it for a long time. It's not about lifting the weight, it's about holding the structure. This is key. I'm holding the structure under isometric tension, and this tension is in the joints. I'm trying to expand the joints, hold them in the right place. So I'm using the ligaments, I'm using the tendons more than the muscles. And the most important part is the core. I'm trying to hold my spine in its nice natural position and even out the weight. I'm evening out the force upon my body through the whole structure evenly, trying to feel it go even down to the feet. Now the knees are slightly out, so the hips are open in front, and the toes are pointing in the same direction of the knees, so the knees don't twist. The knees always point over the toes, and so my hips are open in the front, but they're also a bit open at the back. So I'm squeezing the glutes to sort of drive my pelvis forward, but I'm also letting my hips project backwards like I'm going to sit in a chair. There's a dynamic tension, it's an isometric tension. You've got to work all around the joints at once to hold them in the midpoint. And you can see here now, lifting up and down the line. My fists are in line with my shoulders, which are in line with my hips, which are in line with my heels. I'm trying to find the alignment through my body. Hold the body under this isometric tension, and now this is dynamic isometric tension. So this I call dynamic dynamic tendon isometrics, because I'm trying to use the joints, the tendons. It means I'm feeling more of a stretch through my body. It's not so much a squeezing tension in the muscles, but more like a stretch and expansion. I'm holding the spine nice, but I'm also trying to stretch it in that nice position. And the same for the hips and the shoulders. I'm trying to keep them in their mid position, but stretching them a little bit away from the spine. And I'm trying to engage all the tendons and ligaments at once. So this is the hands hanging up behind, so I'm trying to stretch up behind. But you see, keeping that arch in the spine, sternum tilted up, got to pull the TA muscle in very tight, and I'm also breathing to the back of the ribs, trying to feel an expansion in the ribs as I'm breathing. And both hands are doing the same thing. The hand with the weight has got tension, and the hand without the weight has got tension. So I'm trying to imagine there's a weight in both hands. There's a ghost weight in one hand. Now the long-term goal of this is really the opposite. It should feel like there's nothing in either hand. The weight becomes irrelevant to you. And this is the principle of how I train. I don't use super heavy weights. I'm not pushing myself to the limit. This is efficiency. It's not about no pain, no gain. It's about enjoying it. You've got to feel comfortable. So I use a weight that I feel I can just about feel that it's doing something, but it's not unpleasant. I can do 10, 20 reps quite easily. And then I use that weight very slowly and very carefully and try to hold my structure when I do the exercise. And here you can see another classic dumbbell exercise, bicep curls, but I'm doing both hands at once. One's got a weight, one has got the ghost weight, and I'm trying to squeeze the tension in both hands as if there's a weight. And then once I can do that, I'm trying to squeeze both hands, but imagine there's no weight in either one. I'm trying to even it up, and you're always going to have to hold your core because you are using one hand only. You've got to balance it out through the core, and you always keep swapping over to make sure you even it out. Hold the weight in opposite hands, keep swapping it, and only do as is comfortable. So the moment you feel pain, you stop and switch hands. It's not about pushing yourself to pain. It's about trying to hold the structure as long as possible. And the moment your brain gets distracted by pain and struggling, you will lose the structure, and then it's pointless. It's pointless just doing this for the sake of it. This is all about body awareness. I've got to feel inside my body. Try and hold the shoulders, the rib cage up and back. This is key. When you project the arms out, especially in front, if you pull the shoulders and rib cage up and back, this is going to give a counterbalance, and it's actually a cantilever, and this will support the weight much easier, and you'll see how posture will increase your strength. And when you do this, again, you're using the spine, but you've got to support the spine by pulling in the TA muscle and the obliques. And at the end here, I'm always doing these relaxation, twisting and evening out, trying to feel the alignment of the spine, breathing deep as I stretch up and relaxing deeply as I let the hands sink down, but I'm still keeping the shoulders up and back even when the hands go down. So I'm trying to keep that better posture of the spine. And here another nice relaxed exercise. Legs are straight on the ball of the feet, again still arching back a little bit, tilting the sternum up, belly in, and just bouncing through the structure, trying to feel the bounce go all the way up to the head, and you relaxing out, no residual tension. Always make sure you're practicing body awareness. You feel inside your body and make sure everything feels good, relaxed and settled. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this workout and it makes sense. Please leave any comments or questions in the comments below. I will get back to you most certainly. So thank you very much for watching, and look forward to seeing you in the next video.